So today I'm just going to cover the different types of audio system in different soundbars that you'll come across in store. So we start with what we call a 2.0 system. Now, when we say 2.0, what we mean is two channels of information, left and right stereo. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean two speakers, although most of the 2.0 systems out there do have two speakers. What we're talking about, though, is two channels of information, left and right stereo. 2.0 bars, not a lot better than a television. At least they are pointing the sound towards you rather than away from you, that modern TVs tend to do. You've got the sound pointing towards you, and they tend to be a little bit more powerful than most TVs out there. A couple of examples in store. You've got the Bose Solo 5 and a Panasonic SC-HDB 200 system. They tend to be the cheapest systems in store as well. From there we go to 2.1. Now 2.1 is really the first of the systems that are going to make a really big difference to your TV sound quality. When we say 2.1, again we've got left and right stereo, that's your two channels of information, but here we add a subwoofer to the equation. Subwoofers produce your deep bass frequencies. This is where, as I say, much more cinematic, or if you're listening to music, it will really reproduce those low ends far better than a 2.0 system. A couple of examples in store. We've got a Samsung HWM330 and a Sony HTMT30. From there, we go to 3.0 systems. 3.0 systems have, as you might guess, three channels of audio information, left and right stereo, and then you have a center channel. Now, that center channel is a dialogue channel, so that locks speech to the center of the image, leaving left and right just to produce your stereo effects. So if you're watching a big film and you've got somebody talking or trying to talk over gunshots and explosions, then the separation of the voice with the 3.0 system tends to be better than it would be with a 2.0 system. Now, you cannot just say 3.0 is better than 2.0 or 3.1 systems, because like everything in the world, you can get very low quality 3.0 bars and very high quality 2.0 bars or 2.1 bars. So all you can really do is explain to the customer the differences between those. Three examples in store: the Sonos Beam, the Sonos Playbar, and the Bose 300 system. All of those systems you can add a subwoofer to. Now, by adding a subwoofer to those systems, they become 3.1 systems. But all systems classed as 3.1 systems will come with the subwoofer as standard. A couple of examples: the Sony HT-ZF9 and the Panasonic All-70. They're both 3.1 systems out of the box there. From there we go to 4.1. So here we become a bit more cinematic. Now, in the same way as if you're in a cinema and you have an aeroplane coming overhead, the first thing you will hear, and you'll hear it from behind, is the aeroplane coming from behind. As that plane comes over, you'll hear the sound stage will change from the rear speakers to the front speakers. So that becomes a lot more cinematic. Now, 4.1 systems use reflective audio. So two channels from the soundbar are pointing towards you. The other two channels are reflected off the wall, so it hits you behind a split second before or after what's happening in front of you. The problem with 4.1, well, it's the problem with another couple of systems I'm going to cover in a minute as well. 4.1, 5.1 and 7.1, your positioning in the room is critical for those systems to work properly. For the 4.1 systems, as I say, it's only LG, the LG SK5R and the LG SJ8 are both 4.1 systems. Then go to 5.1. 5.1, you've only got one system that you're likely to see in store, which is 5.1, which is the Samsung HWN650, and hopefully, as you'll guess by now, the only difference between 4.1 and 5.1 is we add an additional center speaker, which is your dialogue speaker. From there we go to 7.1. Now, Yamaha have been the main exponents of 7.1 technology, but at this moment in time you might see a few older ones in store, but they seem to have been taken out of taken off the John Lewis website there. But 7.1, because it's important that you know, even if it's not in store, 7.1 systems have another two speakers which are actually pointing sideways. So they are, not only are they giving you a rear and front effect, they're also giving you the effect of something coming from your side. So even more immersive than 5.1 with 7.1.